So starting off, throwing a culprit. It's a, I believe it's about a 6-inch worm. Throwing white. Water's a little bit murky. We had rain not too long ago, and this thing gets some pretty direct flow from the from the lake above it. So it gets a little bit murky, but I think it's going to clear up down towards where we're going to head in just a minute. Oh, there's a bass right there. Come on now, come on back at it. You know you want it. They might not be looking for the white today. Yeah, after all, it looks actually more clear than what I thought it was going to be. So let's see if we can get him back up in there. He kind of darted off from it. So maybe we might want to switch over to like a darker bandito bug, maybe a little smaller. See if we can't get him. That's a nice size bass up there. Come on now. Maybe we might want to throw a fluke. There's another bass right there. Yeah, they're kind of all over in here. It's a pretty prevalent area for some very large fish. Went ahead and switched over to a fresh new bandito, so hopefully that will give us the action we're looking for. So I'm fishing completely weightless. It is literally the weight of the bait and the weight of the hook. It's not a super deep river, so I'm not really wanting it to get down. Like, I don't want it to just sit on the bottom. It's not a super fast river either. Alright, quick bait change. Got the Googan toad out. We're just gonna try and see if they're just wanting something different. So, the thing I like about the toad, man, it skips super good. It's got some pretty good weight to it, so even without a weight or anything, you can really get this thing casting really far. That's a really nice part about it. I like to get them up right up like they're coming offshore, and or falling off a branch, or something like that, and trying to make it look as real as possible. Trying to make it look in a hurry. So one thing I've changed up this year. I used to work a frog pretty slow, but I've found better success this year fishing them pretty quick, almost like they're trying to flee, like they know they've screwed up. They're in the water where they shouldn't be, and I've had really good success with the baits, working them real quick. Definitely one of the cooler looking areas of this river. I have pulled several out of this deeper pool in this area, more towards the log jam. I kind of like to work it in a fan, kind of make sure that I can cover everything. These frogs absolutely skip like crazy. You can skip them so far. It's pretty wild. Oh, there's a little bass right there. I don't know if you guys can see him. He's right down in the water there. It's a cool little bass, not big, nothing major. Alright, so they are showing a lack of interest in both of these. So we may end up, I'm going to switch to a gold fluke. I've got a real shiny, shimmery gold fluke, and being that they were chasing bait fish back there, let's see if that's what they're chasing. Alright, so I just switched over to a gold fluke. We'll see what that does for us. I love the flukes. They mimic a bait fish so well. It's wild. So we will see what happens. We're gonna fish with this for a little bit. They cast and skip well. I mean, it's just all around, it's a great bait. Catch a lot of fish on it. Tell you, the bluegill love it. It's incredible. It's pretty wild how inquisitive the bluegill actually are. coming up on it like they're gonna eat this thing, and it's actually pretty big. Oh, I got a little bass over here. Oh, come on, big bass. Come on, guy. You want it. You want it. You want it. Oh yeah, he's wanting it. That's pretty awesome. Oh yeah. Oh, come on now. Eat that sucker. Eat that sucker. You know you want it. You just had it in your mouth. Well, he hit it and took it, but I didn't. I tried to let him take it a little bit, but he did not finish it off. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Come on. Oh, you son of a gun. Tell you, in the current, this thing is pretty crazy on the action is pretty insane. That's pretty cool. All right. Well, we're gonna head back in. We got a ways to go down that way. We're gonna hit a couple more spots as we get to the back area. We may try and get into an area that is pretty weeded, pretty covered. I mean, it's pretty heavy cover, but I brought my machete, and we're gonna see if we can't get through. I tell you, river fishing is an absolute blast. If you can get down into it, I would highly suggest that it is so much fun. It's just a ton of different stuff. The other day, you come across snakes, you come across, I mean, you got to watch yourself, obviously, be real careful, but it's pretty awesome. Let's see what we can get out of here. So this is that's where we were, so we're kind of up and around the bend a little bit. It's just a different little area to get to. Same, but you're throwing from a different direction on some of it, which, in my opinion, I've had it where I've thrown in the same spot, thrown from a different angle, something about where it was coming from, and a bass bought it and decided that was a good meal. When 5 minutes prior, I'm throwing to the same spot. So I do believe direction helps. I think throwing out of a boat helps a lot too. I think it's just different. It's weird. It's coming from the shore. You're not throwing a frog out in the middle of nowhere. And that's generally not how that happens. So unless it gets dropped by a bird or something along those lines, most of the time it's going to be coming from shore. So if it's coming from out in the middle of nowhere, those bass, they're not absolutely dumb. Even though they're biting fake baits, but they're made to trigger them. But it kind of triggers their primal instinct of feeding. This area seems to have them out kind of in that area right in there. They don't tend to be up on the edges in this area. But again, I like to cast to the opposite side and kind of pull it away from the shore. It gives it a little bit different approach instead of just casting it right in the middle of them. Let's see if we can get up in this little spot up in here. It looks pretty awesome. Oh, perfect. Come on out of there. There we go. Kind of precarious to get out here on this big, massive tree. You're standing in the middle of the river. You just hope you don't fall in. Come on, get up in there. That's what we're looking for. Big, nice little 10-pounder up in there. Just a little one. That's all we're asking for. Just a little 10-pounder. Nothing yet. Whoa, alrighty. The other day, they were hitting on a white culprit, a 6-inch curly-tail worm. I caught quite a few on them. Beautiful fish, and but it was just super murky water, and they were loving it. So it's a little murky still today. It's not as clear as normal, This area gets super slippery. The mud on top, even though the underneath might be a little dry, the mud right on the top, man, it'll send you scooting. All right, there's a spot up here. Now this is I talked about it earlier. It's an area that was super tall brush. I hate snakes. Saw a pretty big one the other day while I was here. But that is the only way past this area. So I may take my machete and mow me a path here in a minute. Well, it's working. About halfway across. A little bit more to go. Lots of tall weeds. It kind of sucks. But be able to fish on the other side. It's always a plus. Okay. I'm going to say mission accomplished on the pathway. Yeah, a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be, but it's all good. At least now I can get through here. With some ease, anyway. There are some pretty nasty pickers in and around here. They've got raspberry bushes and everything, so as you're swinging, oh yeah, it'll catch you. It'll catch you good. So, let's see what's on the other side. So I had fished over here one time, like way early in the season. I had not found this fishing hole yet, and so when I got here, this kind of had a beaten path down the middle, but it was still pretty overgrown. It was hard to get through, but I got through it one time, and I said, not gonna happen again, not until I beat this thing down with my machete. So I haven't had the gumption to do it. So you are getting to see my actual first fishing over here. It is not well used. It's actually pretty overgrown. So I think we're gonna have to create our own areas to fish. So at some point in time, I'll probably get some waders at some point. We'll work our way down the river itself. But yeah, this is pretty sketch. So this side obviously does not get pressured, which is, I can't say so much for the other side. It's pretty well used. Gets a lot of pressure. So, you know, that's the downside to that area, is just that. I don't know if we're going to be able to get anything out of this area or not. It's beautiful back here though. So this is a pretty awesome looking area. It kind of opens right up here. It's got a little beach. Lots of fallen trees. Pretty much a decently slow current. Doesn't look too fast. So we'll see what's lurking around out here. Pretty awesome. See if we can't get out on this thing here. Get up in past the back of that thing. Ooh, good spot. Try a couple different lures here because this, I mean, it's just a killer area. You'd think this thing would be crawling with them in here. So we'll throw a couple different lures throughout this whole area. I'm gonna hit this whole place with each one. I mean, we're gonna hopefully see if we can pull one out of here on on one of these, the Fluke or whatever. I mean, this is just a cool area. Even if we don't catch anything, it's absolutely beautiful back here and quiet. Very, very quiet. But I'd much rather catch a fish. So try and get it up inside those, up under the area in there. See if we can't get one to a dying bait fish. Come on now. Oh, no, a little bluegill coming up. Wow, it is. Wow. We did get skunked, unfortunately. You know, they call it fishing, not catching. So overall, great night. Beautiful night to be out fishing. And hopefully next river we go to, or next lake we go to, we will be a little bit better luck. So anyway, that's it for the night. Hope y'all enjoyed the at least the scenery, and we'll catch y'all later.